Welcome to Narrowboat, the James Bill. Hope you're well, thanks for joining me. I now need to do this side of the galley. Before I put that up though, I need to bring in all the remaining full-size boards because I think once that's up, I'm going to struggle to get them in. So do that and then, yeah, get Marlon and go Travis Perkins. Right, I'm starting to lay out this side, and something I've been aware of for a while that I've got a problem with is this. Getting the fridge in. I can't do the same thing as I've done with the washing machine because even though I can remove that a little bit, I don't really need to, but I can't have that because obviously the fridge goes all the way down to the floor. So I could either swap fridges and basically get a smaller one, or I'm going to see if I can, which I don't really want to do, I'm going to see if I can do something different here. The fridge is going to go kind of that side. It's going to go aft of the sink. So what I'm going to be able to do is reduce the height of that a little bit, just where the fridge is, and then I'm going to have to engineer it so that the door, when it's all closed up, the door matches up with what that's going to look like, basically. So it's going to take a bit of jiggery pokery this, but I reckon I can do that. Right, I've marked out this line here. That is the same distance as that, so the worktop will be symmetrical, which is kind of important. Now I've got to work out where the curve is going to start. That is where the curve starts there. So for it to be symmetrical, it could be like that, but that just looks a bit too kind of narrow. So I'm thinking about starting it kind of noticeably sooner. Just makes it look more, I reckon that's going to make it look more generous, something like that. The fridge is going to go kind of quite far back here because the trim's going to, it's not going to be able to be the same there. I don't think I'm going to make it work, so I think I'm going to have to cut it there and have the fridge just kind of freestanding in the middle, maybe without there being trim, maybe just a smaller amount of trim than that. But it does mean therefore that I'll be able to make a piece of the front bit here curving around there and down there, which I reckon will look pretty good. It'll have to look good because otherwise it's basically just going to be a white fridge in the middle. I could put a door on it, but I don't know if that's going to work. Anyway, I'll come to that in a minute. Right, let's get this cut. The other thing I've worked out is that if there's going to be a door here, which I'm thinking there will be, or if there's drawers or something, then you're going to have to open it. And if that was there, it's going to be too close. So I reckon it should be starting back there. Right, I'm not sure about this. This is going to be, I reckon, too narrow. The gap here is like 70 something. What's that? 75 between the kick plates, but obviously that comes out 3 centimeters further, so the gap there is going to be kind of just under 70, but across here it really kind of narrows a bit, so the gap there above those two is only going to be just shy of 60, 2 foot across, which is going to feel a bit constricted, I reckon, walking through there. So I reckon I'm going to have to lop it back even further, maybe to here, and go that way. Right, I've jigged things about a bit, so it's now like this. The distance, it doesn't really matter. Basically, that is 3 centimeters narrower than that. So I can make my peace with that. It still means that I can put my my sink in the middle of in the center of the window, so that works well. I've got to cut away that bit now so I can get the fridge in that kind of area. But I reckon that's quite a generous walkway, that. If I had, yeah, much better. Yeah. Happy days. Right, so where I'm up to so far. It's all kind of screwed in. Now I need to cut the trim to go along there. And then I'm going to have to reduce it in height so it kind of goes along there a bit. But I'm going to put the melamine down on that first. Right, I've marked out that melamine. I'm going to make a cut with a jigsaw, and use the factory edge as the leading edge. I've had to jig things around a little bit plumbing wise because the sink is now going to be on this side. So I've got the hot water feed coming down port side and then the cold feed teeing off there, going around there to the washing machine. Right, I've got the fridge in position. It's on a little platform. Problem I've got is opening it. I can open it to that point. I can get the veg drawer out unencumbered, but it is meant to swing wider than that. And I'm now kind of thinking about how it's all going to be finished. So what I'm thinking of, and it's not really going to work, because if this bit of melamine sticks out any further, which it should do, if it's to marry up with that side, so then I'm only ever going to be able to open it like that. And it means I can't really put a door on it, so it's going to be kind of like that, which it's a bit of a battered one, this one, so that's not particularly ideal. So I am kind of scratching my head thinking about this. Right, I've been sitting here for about an hour trying to work out what I'm going to do about this fridge door opening situation, because it's preventing it moving that way. I could pull the fridge forward, but that's not going to work in terms of lining everything up. The other thing I've got kind of scratching my head is about this, how this marries up with this part here. I'd like this to be curved, that corner there, so it all kind of makes up this kind of wall bit. So now what I'm thinking is basically starting the galley bit basically from there. So if this wall here was curved and curved inwards, but there was no kick plate here, it's not going to be required here or anywhere around here at all. It's only kind of around there where you're standing by units is where it's required. So I'm kind of thinking it goes around here, then bends sharply into there, the bit of ply, and then there'll be a gap where the fridge will go. There'll be no platform there, I don't think. I might be able to make a little decorative thing, but other than that, leave that on the floor. So basically there'll be a hole there, and then the galley, the port side of the galley will start there. There'll be a wall coming out, curving around there and going around to there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And obviously the work surface though will go all the way across. That will kind of marry up. But I'm reckoning that might be the way to go. I guess if it looks ridiculous, I can always rip it out and start again. Right, I've put a curve on that. Now the fridge opens nice and fully. Now I need to match that side. Right, I've curved off both edges now. I need to make up the trim, and then I can start working out the top bit here for the melamine. That's actually quite a nice curve. Okay, let's get this glued up and clamped in place. that dry overnight. But I think this is going to be all right. I can make something okay to go in there, but if both of those bits curve in, as does the uprights, that'll kind of look quite purposeful. And then I can start to work out what I'm going to do with this kind of back edge round here. But this has all gone quite nicely. Quite a nice tight curve, that one. Bend. And on these ones, you'll notice I pre-filled it with spray foam just to make sure it all kind of got down all the way through. So whilst this is drying tonight, I am also going to do something to that melamine board there. Out of the 8,000 people or so that watched yesterday's video, about 15,000 people have commented to seal the edges. So I'm going to do that tonight, just with a bit of PVA. Okay, that's all those edges sealed. All of those edges sealed. And in readiness for tomorrow, the back edge of that board there, which is going to go round the back there. But yeah, before I put the sides on, I really need to bring in the remaining sheets of timber, which are going to be, I've got 2 for this bulkhead here. I've got another one for the back of that bulkhead. I've got another 2 for that bulkhead. I got a board for that wall, a board for that wall, which I can only put in once my portholes arrive, and they're coming next Wednesday. But there's enough room here. I can bring the boards in and kind of, well, not in here, there's a mess. This isn't much better either. But yeah, once the boards are in place, and that'll be good. My ceiling panels will be coming next week as well. They're slightly narrower, so I don't think that's going to be as much of a problem, although they're still 2.4 meters long. So yeah, but I've got 1 week to go until Paul from Lockgate comes to put in the stove, which is going to go there. So I need to get that finished really before then, which includes the fireproofing on the back. And on the wall here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do fireproofing wise. On Slow Patrol, I've got the stainless steel going up the wall and onto the ceiling, which I'm tempted to do the same kind of thing here, which means getting rid of some of that wool. So I need to think about that, but before I need to do this first. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Till tomorrow. Bye bye.